Questions you should ask before hiring a general contractor. sgroup.com/questions-you should-ask-before-hiring-a-general-contractor in home improvement. If you're looking for a general contractor to work on your home improvement project, here are some questions to ask. Make sure they have workers' compensation insurance. Also, ask about their experience with the type of project you're working on. In addition, make sure they have a simple process. Here are some of the top questions to ask before you hire a general contractor. Questions to ask before hiring a contractor. You should first ask questions about the contractor's work ethic and previous experience before you hire them. Knowing whether a contractor is efficient can help you decide whether they are the right fit for your project. You should also inquire about the frequency with which the contractor is overworked. This can lead to delays in your project. Ask the contractor about how they handle conflicts. Ask references and look for a history of positive customer service and communication problems. You should ask the person about his/her experience. You may find the association is either national, statewide, or specialized. Members of these organizations receive training and resources, and they also keep up with changing trends and practices. Questions to ask 1/4 before hiring a contractor include whether the contractor is a member of these organizations. You can ask them for a list to verify their references. Make sure that you are realistic about the time frame. Ask the general contractor to provide a realistic estimate of how long it should take. Different contractors have different workforces and availability. Ask them how they plan to respond to any delays. As much as possible, request a warranty and guarantee on any work or materials used. Make sure you receive this in writing. Finally, verify if the person is accredited. You should also check for the licenses and insurance of the contractor. If the contractor is not properly licensed, he may put your project at risk, and you could end up losing your money. You should ensure that the contractor has insurance such as workers' comp and property damage insurance. If they do not have these licenses, you can also look for third-party verification from the state licensing bodies, professional associations, suppliers, and the Better Business Bureau. It is also important to inquire about their business practices. Do you have workers' compensation insurance? If you're working with a freelancer or independent contractor, you'll want to make sure that they carry workers' compensation insurance before you hire them. I do not consider independent contractors employees under the workers' compensation laws. Some clients do. They may require a worker to be covered by workers' compensation insurance, as it can protect the employer in the event of an accident. Workers' compensation insurance can cover the cost of any injuries sustained by workers, even if they don't cause them. The independent contractor's website provides a detailed state-by-state listing of workers' compensation requirements. It is possible to check if the contractor that you are considering hiring has this kind of insurance. It depends on what type of business the contractor is in. Even if the business doesn't employ employees, it can refuse workers' compensation coverage. When hiring a contractor, it's important to check if they're a subcontractor. Subcontractors are separate entities and not employees. Therefore, they're exempt from workers' compensation requirements. However, most businesses will write this requirement into the contract or request that the general contractor provides a certificate of insurance. However, if the contractor is working with employees, workers' compensation coverage is mandatory in most states. Even minor projects, workers' compensation is an essential component. Without it, you could find yourself in a precarious situation. The employee might get injured on the job and sue the company for $5 million. You could lose your job and the money you've paid for it. Workers' compensation insurance is well worth the expense to safeguard your employees as well as yourself. Are you familiar with this type of project? Before hiring a contractor, ask yourself this question: 2/4 Do you have experience with the type of project I have? What reports do you expect to receive daily? Ask the contractor for details about their insurance. You should also check if I insure them for the type of job you have. If not, find someone trustworthy to supervise the work for you. More clients will appreciate a contractor's work. Verify their qualifications and licenses. Check that I cover them for workers' comp, liability, and property damage. It's also helpful to see personal pictures of their past work. Ask about the contractor's experience and any subcontractors. Also, inquire about insurance policies, time frames, change orders, garbage disposal and other details. Are you comfortable with the contractor? You'll likely be in touch with them over several months. Ask for references. Before hiring a contractor, ask if they have completed similar projects in the past. You can avoid hiring contractors that take on too many projects. If a contractor is overloaded, they will end up taking on more work than they can handle. Request references to learn more about their responses. If the contractor has listed no references, it may be a sign of a hidden agenda. Research their reputation online. Check with the Better Business Bureau for any complaints and ask if the contractor has any legal cases. You can then decide whether you want to work with a trustworthy contractor. If you can't find references, search for complaints online. Online reviews can evaluate their performance. When searching online, search for keywords like scam or rip-off. Are you able to create a positive process? When you are hiring a contractor, you want to find someone with whom you can work respectfully. You can achieve this by asking questions and be sure to get their answers in writing. This will prevent any potential disputes later. To find out the best questions to ask contractors before you hire them, get in touch with at least 5 of them. Ask about references and insurance. The next step in hiring a contractor is to find out how frequently he or she completes projects. Find out if the contractor has a project manager and whether they provide daily updates. Clear communication with your contractor is essential since misunderstandings could cost you money down the line. By understanding the schedule ahead of time, you can avoid the frustration of a contractor who is constantly behind. After you find a contractor, check their Better Business Bureau rating. If there are complaints, you can ask how they resolved these. Remember that hiring a contractor based on price alone can lead to months of problems. You should consider the personality and communication skills of your contractor, as well as his pride in his job. You should always trust your gut instincts as they will always lead you to the best outcome. 3/4 Examine for warranty information. You should verify warranties before you contract a contractor for work at your home. Many contracts for the property will have a disclaimer of warranties. I can write this disclaimer in all caps or simply state that the property is being sold as is. It removes any warranties you may have from the seller. These disclaimers, however, are against the law in Ohio. In such cases, it is better to look for other warranties. Make sure you have discussed the terms of your warranty with the general contractor before hiring them. Some warranties cover materials and labor. Since labor fees can account for 90% of the overall cost of the job, it's essential to check out the details. Verify the insurance coverage of any contractor. Although most contractors are insured, their coverage may not cover the value of your furniture, heirlooms, or artwork. Before you sign the contract, check if it provided insurance. I can describe a warranty as a representation or promise made to you. There are 2 main types of construction warranties, implicit and explicit. Implied warranties refer to those implied by law. I wrote explicitly explicit warranties in a contract. Such warranties are legally valid and can enforce in court. You can also check for implied warranties in construction contracts. These warranties must include materials, labor, and design build. 4/4